Welcome back to Hood 187. In today's episode, we're diving into a tragic and heartbreaking story, the murder of Jeannie Blalock, a beloved grandmother whose life was taken in a senseless act of violence. Jeannie Blalock, known as Nana to her loved ones, was a kind, caring, and hardworking woman. At 64 years old, she was someone who had lived a full life of love and dedication to her family. She wasn't involved in the streets or any kind of trouble. She was just trying to live her life in peace. Those close to her described her as a woman who would give you the shirt off her back and was always there when someone needed her. But on a quiet night in May 2017, Jeannie's life was taken from her in the parking lot of her apartment complex in East Tulsa. She had just returned from work around 3:30 a.m. and made it into the parking lot of the Sawmill Apartments. That's when she was approached by two young men trying to rob her. But Jeannie didn't go down easy. She resisted and fought off the two men and managed to get the best of them. But one of the men pulled the trigger and shot her in the head, killing her instantly. The man who pulled the trigger is named Tonnako, also known on the streets as Nako. Nako was just 17 years old at the time and is a known member of the 5'9 Brims. The 5'9 Brims are one of the blood sets operating in Tulsa. The story goes that a 5'9 Brim from New York came down and established the set, and ever since, it's been growing rapidly. Nako had a reputation. He was known for being active in the streets and was rumored to be one of the Brim's main shooters. People said he was wild, reckless, and always down for whatever. But that kind of lifestyle eventually comes with a price. But Nako wasn't alone that night. Three others were involved: Jaydon Harring, Chase Bridgers, and Marquis Houston. Together, they were riding around looking for someone to rob. Jeannie, unfortunately, crossed their path.
Was shot in the head, and she has died. Again, the medical examiner just got on scene because at this point they don't have any more suspect information, and they also don't have any other information on the victim. A lot of the neighbors here say they don't know who she is. So we're trying to find out more information. At a point, they had a canine unit out here. The canine tracked the scent of those two shooters, but then lost the scent. So right now, police are just actively trying to figure out what exactly happened out here.
Within weeks, all four were in custody. By the end of 2017 and into 2018, all four suspects ended up taking plea deals. Nako, the shooter, pleaded guilty to first-degree murder and was sentenced to life in prison. Harring also took a plea for murder and got life. Bridgers and Houston pleaded to accessory after the fact and were given lighter sentences. In the courtroom, Nako didn't show much emotion. There was no outburst, no breakdown, just a quiet, cold acceptance of his fate. Jeannie's family sat just feet away, broken by the loss, but relieved that justice had been served. Years later, Nako and Harring tried to appeal their cases, claiming Oklahoma had no jurisdiction because Jeannie was a citizen of the Muskogee Nation. But after the Supreme Court clarified the law, their appeals were shut down. The conviction stood. Today, Nako sits behind bars at the Joseph Harp Correctional Center, where he'll likely spend the rest of his life. And Jeannie Blalock's family is still left with the pain of her absence, a pain made worse by how senseless her death really was. Thanks for watching this episode of Hood 187. If you enjoyed it, please share the video, and don't forget to subscribe.